Here the leadership of a number of city agencies. We also have some of the most important leaders of the NYPD here. And I want you to thank all of them for the work that they do. And a special congratulations, it's still pretty new, to our Chief of Patrol, just got the job a few months ago, Chief Fausto Pichardo. Congratulations again. So I want to remind you, we're going to have a town hall meeting for the next couple of hours, but after that, there's really a second opportunity if you want to take it, because all these folks are sitting right here. You do not need to make an appointment. You do not need to go to Manhattan. They're right here. They will hang around if you want to talk to them. They're here to hear your concerns or to follow up the things that happened in this meeting. Now, they've all worked a long day already. So you may have some sympathy and say, you know, wait, we shouldn't hold them up, let's let them get home. I say no, these are committed public servants. They will stay here all night if you want them to. They like when I say that. A big smile. And one more thing, I've got to talk about your council members. So Karen Kozlowitz, I'm not here to flatter you falsely, I'm here to tell you the truth, and it is the truth. In City Hall, both sides of City Hall, you are one of the most respected members of the City Council. People listen to you. They know how committed you are, they know how serious you are, they know how hardworking you are. And they know you have devoted your life to public service. And it's a beautiful thing. I want to thank you for all you have achieved. And I want you to know, when you remember the old E.F. Hutton ad? When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Well, when you talk, I listen. And I appreciate you. Let's thank her for all she has done. Okay, three very quick things. The first, on the approach to town hall meeting. I've done about 70 town hall meetings all over the 5 boroughs. I ask of you this: whatever your issue, whatever your concern, please stick to one thing, because we got a lot of people all want to offer their issue and concern. Everyone, one thing each, one issue each, one question each, whatever it is, one, to give the most people a chance. State whatever it is you feel. I'm here to listen. I'll respond. I'll try and respond briefly. But the point is, when you have the floor is yours. Please keep it tight, keep it brief, make your point so as many people as possible can participate. Second, oh, and by the way, the council member will call on people, and we're going to make it a point to constantly go around the room. So just everyone knows, every section will be called on regularly. We'll just rotate around. Second point, just a couple of updates on issues that I think people might be bringing up, and I'd be happy to just give you the update in advance. So first is just a piece of news that is something people should appreciate because it's good news. This community, this council district, of literally the 51 council districts of New York City, when we started 6 years ago, had the lowest number of pre-K seats of any council district, only 100 full-day pre-K seats in this district. Today, there are 1,630 pre-K seats in this district. And we know a lot of people care about the public schools. I'm a public school parent myself. We're going to talk about the issues. We're going to talk about diversity. I'll give you an update. I'm going to listen to you. We're going to work together. But there's a couple other issues that come up. A lot about space and overcrowding and the need for more space in our schools, the need for more school facilities. So 2 new facilities were announced and are now in construction. There'll be 250 more seats at PS 196 and 392 more seats at PS 206. So those are under construction now. I'm announcing something new tonight. We will be adding 432 new seats at PS 174. So that is an announcement tonight. Combined, that will mean over 1,000 new school seats for this district on the way. And we'll keep going after that if we need to. The second point, here, right here in this school, there's been a lot of concern about the summer because there's going to be programs this summer and the need for air conditioning. I am here to announce the air conditioning will be in place by this summer. And one more point, at our last town hall meeting, council member, we talked about the need for the new Regal Park Library. That's moving forward, but people have said in the meantime, and I appreciate it, because it's going to be a while, because the community has such a need, people didn't want one of those mobile vans, they wanted an actual storefront. And you were right, so you will get an actual storefront. We will have a storefront replacement library. Until the new one is built, we'll have a storefront where you can go and use the library in the meantime, thanks to your council member and her advocacy. Let's thank Karen. Last point is a bigger point just about the conversation we're going to have. And it starts on a sober note. We had a very tough situation this week. And something that we didn't see for a few months, thank God, but now has happened again, right nearby in Mill Village. An NYPD officer took his life. And this is something, I know all the men and women of the NYPD here feel this very personally, very deeply. This is something we've been dealing with. The stresses on our officers, the challenges, and trying to make sure they have the support they need. The NYPD and our entire city is going to do everything, anytime, anywhere, to help an officer. And please, one of the things you can do to help an officer, whenever you see any officer, is just express your gratitude and appreciation for the work they do. That helps. Let them know how much you care about them. And I conclude by saying everything we're going to talk about, if you feel, again, passionately, strongly, that means you care. I'm listening. I am not someone who fails to note when I think there's a problem, when people raise a problem, I listen to the problem. If you offer me a solution I hadn't heard before, I'm listening. If there's something I have not explained to you or my team has not explained to you, it's our obligation to do that. We don't set a plan out there and then just blindly follow. We try to make sure that we're doing something that's working, or if there's some unintended consequence, we address it, or if there's something we didn't know, we take that into account. So I will talk to you tonight. As I listen to your questions, I'll tell you why we are doing some of the things we're doing, what is motivating us in terms of what we're trying to do to help people in the city. But I'm also listening when you tell me something that I need to understand better. I'm going to try and answer that tonight, or if it's something that we have to come back to people on, I'll tell you that as well. The important thing is I am here to listen to you and to make sure we have a real dialogue. And I thank you all for being here.
With that, we are going to start questions, and I'm going to call on. We'll start with this section over here. Anybody have anything that they want to talk about?
Yeah, microphone coming to you. Yeah, and everyone, when you get ready to speak, just a microphone will be handed to you.
Thank you for coming. We disagree on quite a lot of things, but I want to thank you for being here to hear the concerns of the community. My question is regarding the Borough-based jail facility that is planned to be opened in Queens. This plan was voted down by Community Board 8, by Community Board 9, and almost unanimous manner voted down by the outgoing borough president. And everyone that I have spoken with is quite against this endeavor. Yet, I continue to hear that this was done with the community in mind and with the input of the community. So my question to you is, what actual community input has gone into this plan? And
Yep, thank you. So I think that we would all benefit from a very honest conversation. Community boards, when they speak, their voices matter. I can give you endless examples of where community boards raised concerns that led to changes in all sorts of things that have happened over the years. But community boards are not the final word. That is the way our government is structured. On something like this, the ultimate decisions are made by the city council and the mayor, who are elected by all the people. And this one comes from a very simple beginning. We had a correction system that was actually making things worse for our city. It was, unfortunately, if you spend any time on Rikers Island, which was built 85 years ago, it was not built to turn people around, redeem people, help get them back into normal society. It created something that was actually making things worse. We decided, there was a strong feeling in both the city council and in my administration, that we had to choose something different. Obviously, this was a site where there had been a jail previously. I want to say to everyone who has concerns, that in my community in Brooklyn, I can literally walk to the Brooklyn jail in downtown Brooklyn, and I have represented that community for now 20 years in one form or another. There have not been safety issues. That's just a fact. In fact, it is a very prosperous, affluent neighborhood with a strong commercial presence. But the issues that come from the community board were acted on. People said they wanted lower height. It ended up being a smaller facility. People said they wanted not only parking for the community to be protected and added to, but separate parking for the folks who would work in the jail. Those things are happening. So the community board, I'm not surprised any community board would say we don't want to take additional facilities. I understand that. But what mattered and was listened to was the community board said, here are things that need to change in this project, and they have. And that will be a continuing process, meaning as it is implemented, if other things come up that we have to make adjustments for, and we can, we will. But there was a thorough democratic process that ended with the city council.
I would like to really stick to the area. You have a question, fine, but I want to stick to, we have a lot of issues here in this community.
It's your district.
Well, there are other people that want to talk about other things, and I want to give them a chance to talk about other things. In this group,
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. I do not live in the Forest Hills area. However, I came here because I'm here basically for the Queens redesign program, so I want to bring that to your attention, okay? I live in Easton, Queens, which is the Flushing Fresh Meadows area. And that area is a transportation desert, pretty much. And now the MTA wants to limit the one lifeline, excuse me, that we have, the bus that I take to work, the QM44, that runs through here. I take that, and hundreds of my neighbors use that bus to go to work every day. It also takes my elderly neighbors to their critical doctor's appointments. And now this bus line is planning to be eliminated. So I can't understand that at all. Nobody from your office or anybody else's office has ridden the bus to know how many people use that bus line. So I did a little research, Mr. Mayor, and I realized that a while ago you had quoted something, and I want to re-quote it. You said that areas like the South Bronx should matter just as much as areas like the Upper East Side. So on behalf of myself and all of my neighbors who defend the QM44, I'm imploring you, please remember us too.
Yes, thank you. So I want to see how we can be helpful here. Now, the assembly member made the point, and I want to do a poll of the room, just a test to see. How many people in this room think that the city of New York runs the MTA? Who thinks the city of New York runs the MTA? Okay, how many people think the state of New York runs the MTA? The ayes have it. That is the truth. And it's actually very important that that truth has come out, because now there's, the first time bluntly in decades, there's a clear sense of who's responsible. And that means there can be accountability. But I have appointees to the MTA board. And I want to use my appointees on the MTA board to try and help address this issue. It scares me that there are places that have so little mass transit still in our city, which is why we've been trying to expand everything we get our hands on. The ferry service in some parts of the city, all sorts of things we can do. But if the MTA is making decisions, then they have to make sure they're not taking a transit desert and making it worse. So I don't have a majority on the board, but I do have a voice on the board. What I'd like to do, our transportation commissioner is here, Polly Trottenberg. She will follow up with you and your colleagues, and let's make sure that our appointees are raising these concerns. And the MTA should be required to create a plan that actually serves people who currently need the service. Either keep it where it is, or give you an alternative you can have faith in. Right? I'm not against change, but I want change that you actually can believe will serve you. So we will use our voice on the MTA to try and support that and get you what you need.
Thank you.
Thank you.